all the manure from all of our pits. What we're gonna build, where we're gonna build it.
Bacon seeds have arrived.
Buy a bottle of Tork's poo water.
Good morning, everybody. We're up here at site 3, and I just gotta say, man, look at this barn. Power washers did a hell of a job. Cat did a hell of a job getting this barn all put back together, and we're in good shape. We're ready to get some baby wiener pigs in today. We got about 850 head coming our way. They'll be here around 10:30. These freaking slats are so clean, you could lick right off them. Oh, you guys I wouldn't actually do that. You know that, right? I'm a dirty but I'm not that dirty. Besides just getting pigs this morning, we got a special project that Dad and I have been working on behind the scenes now for a little bit. We got some awesome things coming on the farm. We're full of special projects this year, but I promise this is something big, and the first step of that is gonna be happening today. So we're gonna get these pigs in, then we'll tell you about this special project. So stay tuned for that. Here we go, folks. Bacon seeds have arrived. Yep. Come on, hey. Yay! Got them off the truck. Now it's time to count them. But I will say, my first impression of these pigs is they look damn good. If you can start a group of pigs off right, it always helps you out in the long run. It's really hard to go backwards once you get them started off right. So as long as these pigs are healthy and they stay healthy, we're gonna be in good shape. We put 70 to a pen, and you might be wondering, man, that's a lot to a pen, but we're actually getting double stock. So this barn in the beginning is gonna be getting 4,800 head of pigs, because in the system we grow for, there's guys that just want to raise feeder pigs, and we'll take half of the pigs that we're getting in the beginning. So we'll take 2,400 pigs out about a month and a half in and send them to the guy that just wants to raise feeder pigs to finish instead of wiener pigs to finish. Now I'm gonna go ahead and mat feed these pigs and just make sure all the feeders are adjusted properly, because we like to keep the feeders a little loose starting out pigs, especially on these wet dries, because if the water's on and those feeders are too tight, they'll just clog that feeder up so bad with the water. That's a little too tight for my liking. I'm gonna go ahead and bring that down to about 3. Definitely loosen it up a little bit. So we're gonna try that. All right, got them fed. Everybody should have a full belly and be a happy pig after they get some feed in them. Like I said, the first day they get here, all they want to do really is sleep, because they've had a long haul on the truck. So they won't do a ton of eating, but tomorrow morning they'll be awfully hungry. So we will be getting pigs Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and it'll probably be around a 2-week fill. So more to come when we get pigs again Wednesday.
Well, it's a nice rainy day in southeast Iowa. Too little, too late. Might help the beans a little bit, but this is the first rain we've had in God knows how long. But it is the time of year. It's a little cooler at night. Corn's dying. It's about time to measure these pits to figure out how much manure we've got to haul. But we're not gonna do that quite yet because we might not be applying any liquid manure this fall. We may be doing something different. And we're gonna take you along for the process. The first step is happening today. There's an engineering firm that's gonna be out here, and they're working with a company called Livestock, Water, and Energy. And what we're looking to do is we're gonna take all the manure from all of our pits. We're going to separate it. We're gonna pull the water out of it, and that's gonna give us a dry product. So basically 80% of the volume of your manure is water. We're gonna take that water out, most of it. You're gonna be left with a product that's between 12 and 15% moisture, so it's kind of like turkey manure. That's just the small part of it. The big part is that water that we take out, we're going to clean that water to the point that it is cleaner than your average municipal well. So it's gonna be about 70 parts per million or less of total dissolved solids. And that doesn't mean anything to me, but your average municipal well is over 100 parts per million. So it's reverse osmosis, and I don't know what all goes into it, but when it's done, that water, we can feed it right back to the hogs. In fact, I might bottle it. You might be able to buy a bottle of Tork's poo water. I don't know, is there a market for that? Anyway, we're gonna be able to recycle that water back to the hog buildings. That's gonna cut the amount of water that we're using because we're recycling it. And then we take all the salt and all the phosphorus out of that water, and that's a separate pile. And then the fourth thing, and probably the most exciting, is because we're stopping the chemical process by which this manure breaks down and releases carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, I don't know what all, methane. We are gonna capture the carbon. We're gonna stop that process, so we are creating carbon credits by doing that, and we're gonna sell those on the carbon market. That's a big piece to bite off, and there's a lot more coming, but the first step towards this goal of ours is happening today, so stay tuned.
Paul Rothel, I'm just coming out to do site surveys for engineering design for manufacture of the LWE systems. You can see it just going down the track.
So you got this all mapped out, and this drone's just following it.
Yep.
Like, what's your goal here today?
So it's called an orthomosaic map. And that's just a fancy word for, I'm gonna take a lot of pictures and then I'm gonna upload it to a 3D modeling software that's out in San Francisco. It's gonna process all those pictures, and then it's gonna send me back one 2D model and one 3D model that I can then pull up and map everything out, get all my distances to electrical, get my distance to offload, my feed distance, uphill. It gives me all the contours, all the grading, everything. But it gives me the ability to really map out in detail what we're gonna build, where we're gonna build it. And this one's a fairly simple project compared to like some construction projects where they'll take a picture every week and they'll do that 3D drawing for, you know, a year and a half. You'll have a weekly record of everything that occurred.
As the construction changes and the dirt gets moved,
yep,
and all that stuff.
And then on my phone, once it takes those pictures, I can come back out here or from my house, and I can say, you know, how many tanks you got, and it'll count how many tanks you have of that size. And then I can say, well, there's a dirt pile over there, and we need dirt pile to level this up. How much dirt is there? I take my finger, put it around it, it calculates the cubic yards and tells me what I need for fill.
Wow.
And I'm like, it really is pretty amazing.
All the information you're gathering today is gonna just help with the construction process, right? This everything you'll need.
Correct.
You're the guy that gets it all.
Yep. I gotta put all the parts and pieces together in one big plan and then let all the engineers chew out the details. The basic premise I'm trying to get is I need to know how much is coming out of the process. So how big do I need to build the system to keep up with that, plus some contingency value? Is there going to be additional? Are you guys going to add more pigs to the farm? Are you going to add more resources? Are we going to have to supplement water in to get it started? What are you going to do with all the water when it's done? Where are we going to store the water? That's another big question. You know, do I need to build the system 50% bigger, 20% bigger, 10% bigger? You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So all those kind of considerations.
So I hope that all made sense to you guys. Paul's pretty much the plan guy. He collects all the data from us, maps out the construction site, maps out how far we are from power, etc., and is gonna map out a plan. And then the other engineers that LW is working with, they're going to look at his plan, hash out the little details, and make that plan happen. Some of you might be wondering, if he's mapping out the construction site, what are you guys constructing? Right behind me here, right up next to site 1, we are gonna build a shed that is going to hold all the dry matter that we separate from the liquid manure, and it's also gonna hold the machine that does the separating. We're going to bore lines into the ground from all our existing hog barns. We're gonna bore 2 lines, one that takes the water from the separating machine back to the barn that's clean and for the pigs to drink, and also a line that takes the manure from our pit to the separating machine. That's all going to be right here in this building once we get it built. It's going to be a really exciting process. Some of you might be shaking your head thinking these guys have lost their mind, but we believe it's the future of agriculture. We believe we can make a really sustainable product, a more sustainable product, a carbon negative pork product. I know carbon's a big buzzword nowadays, but it's the truth. If we can offset our carbon footprint to nothing, we can really produce an amazing product. And then also it could provide another income source for hog farmers out there if they can capitalize on carbon credits. We are going to try it out. We are going to be kind of the first hog farm out there to get this going, and once we get it up and running, we're going to show you guys the whole process of the build out, but also the whole process of how it works. And we're going to invite hog farmers to come out here and check it out and see for themselves what this machine is actually about, what it does, what it provides, and we're being very open about it. We're really excited to get it going. Trial and error gets you a long ways. There's going to be bumps in the road, just like any construction project, but we're going to get through them and we're going to get it done. So stay tuned and come along with us for the journey.